kindly allow me to briefly introduce both our company. Our company, Zico, is a chemical company manufacturing specialized chemicals, and we have been in this field for more than 30 years. And with our know-how, we have brought vast experience for our customers. Our sales department is divided into two parts, which are plastic additive business department and the other being personal care ingredient business department. As a personal care ingredient business department, we have been trading with Korean cosmetic companies such as Amore Pacific, LG, Cosmax, and Korma, etc. We supply raw materials for cosmetics and personal care products which are self-manufactured by our factory at Umsan, Korea. Also, we handle imported raw materials to satisfy our customers' needs. Our agenda for this presentation is to inform you the benefits and applications of Zico's GDP as well as the benefits of our natural solubilizer Zico's EMCSO and 1,2-hexane diol Zico's PRAT. First, let me introduce Zico's oil gelling agent, Zico's GDP. Zico's GDP is an oil gelling agent developed by the R&D department of Zico. By localizing the ingredient, which was previously imported from Japan, we are able to cut our sales price in half while keeping the performance of the product. By doing so, our product has brought our customers profitability and market advantage with its competitiveness. Zico's GDP is the solution to your problems on the volatility of the extreme purchase prices, which has been known as the common problem when adapting the material for commercial use. There is a slight difference in formulating the product. Since it's a newly developed product, there could be some differences in the application stage compared to the products in the market as an oil gelling agent. Differences such as viscosity can be viewed as a whole new advantage. Also, it could be altered by formulating the product to suit customer requirements. Its name is dextrin palmitate. This ingredient is soluble in oil and has a melting point of more than 90 Celsius degrees. The principle of the oil jelly is to crystallize the long straight alkyl group and hydrogen bonds in the structure, forming solid particles of uniform shape and size from the homogeneous liquid. Gel type is a high viscosity material that can hold moisture or oil. Typically, low viscosity gel provides a breath feeling of use and excellent spreadability. And high viscosity gel provides coverage, a long lasting, and a high moisturizing effect to the skin. A gel is divided into hydrogel and oleogel. Here, hydrogel contains a lot of moisture and oleogel contains a lot of oil. There is only a limited number of ingredients to make oleogel compared to hydrogel. Among them, fatty acid, fatty alcohols, waxes, span60, resin, and phytosterol have very weak gelling ability to and form a gel under limited conditions. Silica, organically modified clay minerals, and modified silicon polymers are difficult to use in various formulations due to strong cross-linking and network bonding. Monoacyl glycerols are surfactants that may irritate the skin when used in large amounts, and dicarboxylic acid and 1,2-hydroxystatic acid have a bad feeling when applied to skin. Among the limited number of oleogel ingredients, dextrin palmitate is capable of forming an oil gelling agent that is suitable for commercial use. The advantage of oleogel is that it doesn't require surfactants, emulsifiers, and preservatives due to the combination of a lipophilic liquid and a lipophilic solid. In particular, it can avoid the high percentage from of emulsifiers, which is also named bioacne. Bioacne is a sun allergy and is known to be caused by ethoxylated alcohol (PEG) in emulsifiers. Also, oleogerin sunscreen water resistance can increase without using emulsifiers and reduce the use of preservatives as well, which is why oleogerin is suitable for rib, eye, baby products, where surfactants and emulsifiers should be avoided. The features introduced have been verified by patent and traditional method. Firstly, Zico's GDP is a powerful oil gelling agent that can form a gel with various types of oil. Secondly, it stabilized WWF emergency system. Thirdly, Zico's GDP disperses powder like TiO2 well. Fourthly, it softens the wax and disperses it evenly. And finally, formulation can be made without emulsifiers or surfactants. The way to make oil gel is first to disperse the powder at room temperature, then heat up to over 90 Celsius degrees and dissolve it completely. After that, repeat it at room temperature without stirring and the gel will be formed. Because GDP is soluble in many types of oil, you can make an oil gel in various oils such as hydrocarbon oil, glyceride, ester oil, vegetable oil, etc. The hardness of the gel varies depending on the polarity of the oil. For example, triglyceride, which is a polar oil, the solidity is twice that of liquid paraffin. The melting point, gel strength, and viscosity are all different depending on the type of the oil. It is possible to make a solid or fluid-like gel with high thixotropy by adjusting the content and formulation. If you add more than 7% of dextrin palmitate, you can make a solid gel with no fluid-like movement. The table on the right shows a viscosity of 5% GDP in liquid paraffin measured after 1 to 3 days of maturing. The gel strength of dextrin palmitate is also important. We melted 10% of Zico's GDP in 90% of liquid paraffin 70 and measured it at room temperature for a day and measured gas strength. There is a slight difference in gel strength for each oil from Company A in Japan. Develop an effective formulation by referring to the gel strength data. Dextrin palmitate has various applications in cosmetics. One of the characteristics of Zico's GDP is to stabilize the WOWS emergency system. In the case of W&WS cosmetics, the moisture inside evaporates easily at high temperatures, resulting in poor formulation stability. But if you add Zico's GDP to the cream, it inhibits water evaporation at high temperatures and improves the stability of emulsions. Especially when it comes to sunscreen W emulsion, our product has advantage in stabilizing emulsion and SPF levels. Also, because GDP prevents the crystallization of wax, it softens unharder systems by inhibiting the growth of wax crystals, but gel strength can be reduced. The cleansing oil is inconvenient to use because it flows down when applied to the face and it irritates the skin upon massaging the skin for cleansing. This is a dilemma because if you make a water-based cleansing gel, the cleansing ability becomes poor, and also if you make a product using anionic surfactants, it could cause skin irritation. Through the Zico's GDP, it can reduce skin friction and not falls out, so it gives a high massage feeling. If you want a harder gel, we suggest adding 5% dextrin palmitate and 5% diammonium heptide. Another feature is the ability to disperse insoluble powders, especially retinol or fat-soluble vitamin. Retinol is highly likely to oxidize in water-based cosmetics, and skin absorption of retinol goes slow because it's soluble in oil. Adding Zico's GDP 5%, it prevents retinal oxidation and improves formulation stability. This is because there is no water contact due to the formation of an oil gel. Also, retinol is well absorbed into the skin and does not cause skin irritation. In the conventional water wheel type, the emulsifier is required in order to emulsify the water and oil completely. At this time, when emulsifiers are added, they become cloudy, and depending on the amount of emulsifiers, there can be a problem of separation between oil and water. To solve this, adding an oil drop on a gel-type water surface without an emulsifier stabilizes the oil and provides visual difference with a transparent appearance, while providing a gel type with excellent moisture. In the case of cosmetics which disperse the oil drops through starting on the water gel, it was difficult to resize the oil drop and had limitation on stabilizing insoluble materials. However, using Zico's GDP, oil drop homogeneously floated on the water gel type without any emulsifiers. Mix dextrin percentage 0.2 to 1% and inorganic starch 0.01 to 0.1%. Our product can stabilize various sizes of non-soluble compounds within the oil drop dispersed. As the amount of dextrin percentage increases, the size of the oil drop also increases. In exothermic cosmetics using zeolite, the aqueous formulation is not comfortable to use due to a large number of powder contents, and the formulation becomes unstable as the content of zeolite increases. In the formulation of dextrin permeate 5% plus zeolite 30% or more, it becomes an oil gel type product that improves spreadability on the skin, satisfying a sense of heat from a large number of zeolites. The recruitment of the hydrocarbon system oil and ester type oil has made thickening possible by including dextrin permeate, but cross-link was impossible with the silicon-based oil like the dimethicone. Nevertheless, adding silicon polymer and silicon powder class to dextrin permeate will turn negative aspect into an advantage. Silica powder and silicon polymer class are mainly used in order to fill the concave convex of the pores and provide a soft and silky finish to the top. But it is difficult to achieve jelly-like formation using raw material structure based on dimethicone. Also, it is not easy to raise the solidity, therefore it is hard to make balm or cream type product. But if you mix non-silicon system oil with our Zicos GDP forming a clear gel, then by mixing solid oil gel with floating silicon oil, you can formulate to make a paste-like product by using silicon-based polymers and silicon-based powder to distribute silicon formulations evenly to increase the durability of the formulation. This will produce silicon-based raw material which can be build up bumps in the pores, suppress the glossiness and give a silk finish, and it will also carry the advantage of oil-based raw materials, such as providing a high moisturizing effect and sustainability of the product. The ingredients commonly used in solid cosmetics, such as foundations, twig cake, lipstick, and shadow, are oils and waxes. The wax is commonly known to be at solid state at room temperature, but as temperature increases, it will convert to liquid. And if only oil is used as an ingredient, the melting point will be too low, causing its texture to become too soft as the temperature rises. Moreover, there is a high possibility that the oil separation may occur. However, our Zicos GDP can be added to create a stable solid formulation with excellent gloss and high melting point even when used with oil and wax. Let's now take a look at products other than cosmetics. For example, a candle is a mixture of Parmax and paraffin. And so if you increase the Parmax content to increase the stability of the formulation, the surface barrier and liquefying phenomenon become a problem during combustion. The surface barrier phenomenon is when the edge of the candle doesn't burn and only the inside burns. And candle flow phenomenon is when the candles burn quickly and cannot vaporize and flows down the wall of a candle. But if you prescribe it with Zico's GDP 5%, Permax, Fatty alcohol, and Multivax, the surface barrier and the candle flow phenomenon become less of a concern point. Next, let me introduce our natural solubilizer Zico's EMCSO. Previously, as a solubilizer, PG60 hydrogenated castor oil, called the HCO60 or twin, are mainly used in the market. But all of them are PG based, and so there were side effects such as skin irritation. The natural solubilizer developed by Zico is a material obtained by esterification reaction of polyglycerol derived from coconut and fatty acid. In cosmetics, the solubilizer helps to dissolve insoluble ingredients in water, such as fragrance and oils. The weaknesses of original polyglycerol-based solubilizers were moisturizing, stickiness, and low temperature stability. For example, if the temperature stability goes too low, the raw material itself freezes well, and when it freezes and melts, it would harm the material solubility. Because EMCSO is a product that has improved all the disadvantages of polyglycerol-based solubilizers. It has excellent moisturizing effects and has no sticky starch. Also, it doesn't freeze well, so it's stable at low temperatures. To give you a more detailed feature of the product, Zico's EMCSO is a PG-free solubilizer, 100% natural ingredients, and EWG green grade. It can reduce the content of polyols such as glycerin and 1,3-butyl glycol due to the excellent moisturizing effect. Especially in the mist formulation, the texture doesn't flow down because of its good adhesion to the skin. If you increase the polyol content for better skin adherence and moisturizing, the overall feeling becomes heavy and the spraying becomes weaker. But with Zico's EMCSO, even if the polyol content is reduced, moisture, skin adhesion, and spraying power will all be improved. Another positive function of the product is that foam can be generated in the nozzle of the container when 4% or more is prescribed in mist and toner. Also, because EMCSO acts as a fragrance carrier, it means the scent spreads better. So, it can reduce the odor of existing formulations, and it is possible to solubilize a large amount of scent over 1%. It shows the solubilizing power at a ratio of 2 to 9 times that of fragrances, such as natural and synthetic fragrances. We developed 1,2-hexanediol for replacing the existing traditional preservatives such as paraben and phenoxyethanol. In Korea, the use of arkandiol preservatives increased from 10 years ago. Currently, in the Korean cosmetics industry, arkandiol ingredients are widely used to manufacture the product. But arkandiol has higher antibacterial power and irritation due to the increase in the number of carbons and the length of carbon chains. Among these, onthexandiol is the most suitable for cosmetics. Zico's PRHE has a surfactant structure with both hydrophobic and hydrophilic groups. Basically, it acts as an excellent antibacterial and moisturizing agent. It mixes well with water and can act as a solvent with a little emulsifying power, and it has a solubilizing effect as well. Arkandiol cause skin irritation and use over 2%. Therefore, when 1,2-hexanediol is used in cosmetics, we usually prescribe less than 1% of doses to be added during manufacturing. The preservative system is usually set by mixing around 1% hexanediol and other preservatives. If 1,2-hexanediol is used alone for manufacturing of extracts or other cosmetic ingredients, it is recommended that the concentration of MIC is 3%. There are two types of 1-hexane diol manufactured by Zico. Zico's PRH0 is grade A, which is odorless whether at room temperature or heated. Zico's PRH is a grade B product that does not create any odor at room temperature, but when heated above 80 degrees, it creates a slight odor. Usually, cosmetic companies in Korea use grade B a lot for economic reasons. In addition to 1-hexane diol, we produce caprylic glycol, acetylhexylglycerine, phenoxethanol as preservatives, and PG2-penyl ether as a substitute for phenoxethanol and for other blending preservatives. That is all for our presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.